I covered some bike stuff in a video that I made a couple days ago, but I didn't make a separate video yet, and I want to give you guys an update about my Justice for Cyclists. I want to give you guys an update on what's going on there. Time. Actually, I pulled one of the beeswax out and I lit that a bit, but it's so expensive I didn't really feel like comfortable using it. Got it years before I separated from the narcissist. Was gonna use it. This is $1.25. And maybe this will help me feel better, because this candle was called Health. So maybe there's some type of spell cast on this to make you healthy. I don't know. Probably not. But it said Health. And it does have kind of like a Vicks Vapor Rub, like a mild Vicks Vapor Rub scent to it. So if I keep breathing it, maybe it'll make me feel better. As you'll notice in my videos I made a day or two ago, I mentioned how I was getting sick. I just woke up and I felt sick. Like, you know when you're sick, you get like this weird kind of tingly feeling? Like, there's a feeling you get when you have a fever. And then, health candle, come on. Restore my health. I've already prayed, I've asked God, I've tried to cast out, do certain things, and it's like rescheduled a different day. So certain things are rescheduled, and we just take a day off, and that's God's plan. So I'm always considering that's possibly what this is. But I have plans for tomorrow, so I need to burn this health candle tonight, because I do have to try to get up early tomorrow. I made a video about bikes, and people wanting to run me off the road, and I did mention previously, like, I try to stay on sidewalks exclusively. I have no interest in riding on the road. I avoid riding in the road at all costs. But unfortunately, no matter where I go, there seems to be a small stretch that's maybe a yard length or maybe a block where I definitely have to get on a regular road. And this is when, I don't know if they're narcissists, like they all get in their trucks and rev their engines behind me and try to intimidate me and scare me. But I don't think they're actually going to hit me. No, I don't think so, because I'm highly protected, so they're not going to hit me. But if you guys go back and watch that last video, I declared and decreed, and I think I swore to God, I'm not sure, what I would do the next time somebody tries to run me off the road. And I said that this is my battle plan, because the thought came in my mind, unless God has a different plan for me. I said, this is what I'm thinking now, and this is what I'm doing, and I declare and decree this unless God has a different plan for how I should handle this. Okay, so I'm thinking that God has a different plan for how I should handle this, but I still was telling the truth when I declared and decreed instant karma for anyone that tries to run me over or run me off the road. I declare and decree instant karma for anyone that tries to run me off the road. Well, guess what, guys? I woke up the next day. I was feeling sick. My ears were super clogged. I was sore. But I had to go to that music store, which happened to be closed this day. The only day I think it's actually closed. But anyways, this was a much better ride because there was sidewalk, and then there was a bike lane, and then there was a crosswalk. So I could make it all the way to this music store without going in the road. This was amazing. But the music store was closed, and then I had to try to go to the thrift store. And so I turned back the way I came, staying in the bike lane, and then I had to turn right onto a main road, and this is a bit longer distance, maybe 100 yards or something. Not extremely long, really, because there's a light right there. Then I turned right, and it's just a bit, it'll only be probably a few seconds in a car, but on a bike it's quite a ways. And past that light, turn right, and there's a thrift store up there. And also when you leave the thrift store is a stoplight. So when you park your bike on the line, I thought maybe my bike wouldn't activate it, but it did. When you park your bike on the line, then the light will turn green, and then you can turn left and get back on that main road. And this is what I did. Leaving the thrift store, I had to get back on this main road. And this would have been a problem yesterday. This is just where all those narcs like to get me. I say narcs just because my narc had a bunch of road rage, and he would like scare people, I guess, on the road, and I thought it was stupid. Like, I thought he was silly. But, so basically, there's a bike lane until I get to this light, then I have to turn right, and I have to go about 100 yards or so. Maybe, half the length of a football field. I don't know, maybe not quite that long. But then I turn right into the thrift store. So it's not that long. But the other times I had to get in the road was a lot shorter. Like, the other times it was like a yard length, like, seriously. And when I was leaving, I turned left onto this main road again. And then, of course, the main light ahead was red. And I had to stop at that in my bike. And all these guys in their trucks were around me. And it was actually raining this day. It was sprinkling. And so it was sprinkling. I had a huge-ass backpack I just purchased on my back, like, full of stuff. And I was getting a little wet, and it was muggy and hot, and there's no air conditioning. And I was biking a little slower just because I had that stuff. And had it been the day before, there'd been probably 2 or 3 people trying to run me off the road because this was a much further distance. But no, guys, the Kingdom of Darkness has been alerted. I declared and decreed that anyone that tried to run me off the road, they try to hit me, their car would flip and be totaled. That's what I declared and decreed. Guess what happened when I went out the next day? Not a single person messed with me. And the stretch where I knew they would mess with me, guess what happened? This is divine intervention. There's a stretch I knew they would mess with me. I had to be on this main road like 3 or 4 times as long. And they were all right there. I'm like, oh, this is nice, you know, because nobody is revving their engine and trying to run me off the road. And then a cop goes by in the other lane. A cop goes by in the other lane. There were all those trucks. And they were licking their lips trying to run me off the road. But then there was a cop, a police officer, who happens to know the law, which is cyclists share the roads. We just have to ride in the right-hand lane, in the slow lane, and I was. So because the cop was there, all those trucks were on their very best behavior. They had also been alerted. But the thing is, the narcs don't know everything, so they had to send their officers. They had to send their officers knowing I declared and decreed this. It was going to happen. Had somebody came up, like, sped up towards me and held down their horn, like they would have done if the cop wasn't there, they would have flipped their vehicle and it would have been totaled because I declared and decreed that. I actually called instant karma that night before. I declared instant karma, so I don't know what happened to that woman. I don't. But, like, normally I don't do this. But when it's something that threatens our lives, this is different. Like, I just read in the book of Luke some things that Jesus said, but that is not applicable in this situation. When it's saying to be, like, generous and lend and give to these disbelievers, it's not saying to treat them well when they try to kill you. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that, guys. So I'm pretty sure there was a lot of warfare going on in the Bible as well, with swords. So when somebody was actively waging war against you, and we got some war going on, it's a battlefield on them streets. Now I know, this is proof to me that what I declared and decreed was heard. It went out, and the spirit realm was notified of what I said. And so, instead of people running me off the road, no one did. And it just so happened that there was a cop just, you know, right as I was riding on that main road until I turned right down the road that had a bike lane. That stretch. There's a stretch right here. They were going to try to run me off the road, but there was a cop right there behind me and then going in front of me. And no one messed with me. And you guys don't know, the cops actually work for God. And the Quran says what the cops do is actually keep the bad people in line, like the sinners and disbelievers. It's to punish the disbelievers. I believe that's what the Quran says. So the cops aren't there to punish believers. The cops are actually there to punish disbelievers. And there can be people that pretend to be believers that are disbelievers too. So just because it looks like a good person got in trouble. And then you can also have, like, outliers. But anyways, that cop was right there where they needed to be, or somebody would have totaled their vehicle and flipped their vehicle. But anyways, I am feeling sick, and when I say, like, I think God notified me of a different plan, and I could easily just say this online. When I hear move in silence, I really don't know that this matters here, because before I said what day I was going to the police station, and they knew. So they sent a shooter. and they drove in my driveway, and they had their cop left, and all the others were on site. I understand that. But I think I'll say this in the video. I think that God told me how to deal with this situation. When that will happen, I don't know. Probably not like this week, because I've got some other stuff going on. But before I went to the thrift store, there was what looked like a flea market, or some guy had like a stand outside, and it was like booths, but with like a tent canopy over it. So it was kind of out, like free air. So he had a store, like a flea market outside, but then it was kind of like a carnival tent, like covering to keep the rain off of stuff. And so I'd never been there, and I wasn't really sure what it was. I went in and I talked to this guy. He actually happened to have a lot of old bikes. So I don't know if he has anything that'll work for me, but I'm going to head back and try one out. He might have, there's one that I was kind of interested in, but it would need to be adjusted quite a bit for me to be able to use it. So I think I'm going to head back there and try it. But we did talk a little bit while I was there. And he mentioned, when I told him about getting run off the road by cars, then he mentioned something to do. He mentioned, oh, well, you can, and then he said, you know, here I am. I said I would tell you guys. I'm not going to tell you, okay? So I stopped at this booth, and then I was looking at this guy's bikes. I mentioned about the cars trying to run me off the road, and then he said, oh, you can go here, and, you know, he told me just where to go, essentially, and who to talk to. So I might have even mentioned this in another video. So I'm thinking, like, this was from God. Because, guys, if you think about it, if a car tries to hit me and they flip and they're totaled, and I said I didn't want the person to die, but their car to be totaled, that doesn't help all the other cyclists. And these streets need to be made safe for all the other people in my city, not just me. So I might be safe when I go out, but other people still aren't safe. So this needs to be dealt with on a mass scale. So I will let you guys know, after I made that declaration, no cars messed with me, and I went a much longer distance on the main road, and where they were going to mess with me, there was just happened to be a cop on the road at the same time, so nobody messed with me. You know what that means? That means they know what they're doing, and they know what they're doing is wrong. But I think they're all fat men, and this is not me bashing men. I really think they are all fat men, and I don't know why they see a beautiful, attractive young woman such as myself, they want to run off the road. Actually, no, I'm middle-aged, and I don't know. I think, maybe I'm attractive, maybe I'm average. But, there used to be this thing where you would treat women, like, better or something. And I don't think I've experienced that. I think people have always treated me worse than, like, just even men. Like, people just treat me like shit my whole life. But, anyways, it's like they don't even look at me like I'm a woman. I think, when people on the road see me, they don't they don't think I'm a woman. They're like, oh, cyclist, and their eyes go red, and then they want to run you off the road because they want to be able to go really quick. I don't know, because like that road there, I think that's 45, and then there's the light, which I was at, and then past the light it's 35. So this is not a road that you really race on. It's like slowing down to the 35 mile per hour, but they don't want this, That's like, they need to be able to like instantly speed up to the speed limit and not have anyone any slower in front of them. Like, this is insane. They buy these trucks that cost like $65,000 and their houses cost $40,000. And then they just use them to try to run people off the road. Like, yeah, I don't understand it. So yeah, it's the end of the age, people. It's the end of the age. It's a zombie army apocalypse. Okay, so that is my proof. They were going to try to get me. They would have been flipping their vehicles. There probably would have been a big car pileup there. Because there was like 10 cars all in a row right there. With a cop in the middle of them. If that cop hadn't been there, I declared and decreed, someone tries to run me off the road, they're not going to harm me. Their vehicle is going to flip and be totaled. I declared and decreed that. So what happened today, there was a lot more cars. There was like twice as many cars right next to me. And I had to go like 4 times as far. But there was a cop there. But see, if that cop wasn't there, I would have been fine, because God protects us. And they would have smashed their vehicles up, and this would have been on the news. Yeah, and actually, they would have deserved it. They would have deserved it, and they're probably narcs. Like, my ex-narc has, like, totaled 2 cars since we broke up. Like, and that's what I mean, like, after they lose a high level supply, after they lose a primary high level supply, then they just become dopes, and they can't think about things logically, but they still want to go really fast and mess with people, so they just end up totaling their cars left and right. And there's a lot of narcs out there, and they're on the road. They're on the road now. And it's the thing about this town is that, like, people have, like, rundown houses they don't fix up, and they're dirt cheap, but then they got brand new trucks. I don't understand it, but, you know, no one helps me, no one cares. So, like, I wonder, like, if there's any real people out there. I don't know. Maybe not. I keep saying this. Maybe not. Like, there's a couple people that watch my channel. A couple. I think one of you guys was Serpent Nephilim. I got my proofs. At least one. I think both of you. I got 2 guys that comment on my channel, like, occasionally. I think they're both serpents and they watch my channel. I don't care. Go ahead and watch it. Go ahead and watch it. You guys send your, like, fleas and your mosquitoes in here and spy on me anyways. And none of it has stopped me. None of it has stopped me. I'm going to keep going, and then I'm going to be restored. And I'm going to have a great life, and you guys are going to have to deal with each other. And then we're not going to be able to help you anymore. Because in the Bible, when it says to help people, it doesn't say to help them while they're trying to actively destroy you and kill you. It doesn't say that. So you have to look at the context, okay? We have to defend ourselves, and sometimes we have to say no, because our lives have value too. Thanks, guys, for watching. God bless you.